Sky Squad, we are back in the building and we are discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville, where the girls are on their girls' trip to St. Thomas. Where, listen, you might have been on vacay, but not the Melody Cherie way. Well, some people might argue with that. Y'all, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It was a hot, boiling mess. And that is what we are here for. If you are watching reality TV expecting a get along to get along, then you are in the wrong place. Okay. So we're going to discuss the mess that was this trip. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this episode a whole 10, baby. I would give it a 10.5 if I could. You know what? This episode to me, I'm going to need y'all to stop acting like y'all ain't never seen Housewives before. Okay. Now, I ain't saying that this was the Housewives formula, but when you think about Housewives girls trips, you know how they go, okay? So this being like really one of the first like big cast trips that's just all the girls, it reminds us a little bit of that. But with the Love and Marriage Huntsville twist to it, you know what I'm saying? Where the majority of the women are married. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's just call a thing a thing. A lot of times on Housewives, these ladies don't be married no more. And that's fine too, because it's an exploration of what happens in love and life. And that's what we all, listen, we all go through it at some point in time. You know, hopefully you ain't going through a divorce, okay? But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. So let's get into the Biz Not E. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. If you are new here, my personality is a little off the rails. I mean, and that's just what it is. I cannot help it. I am very unserious. Okay. So I don't have no whatever I say about anybody, y'all just gotta live with it. Okay. Because it's all in the spirit of fun. And if you cannot take that, this is not the place for you. Okay. We're doing some adult talking around here, but in a very unserious way. So let's get into the tea. All right. So this episode, it says on my notes here, episode 514. So that means episode 14 of season 5. Okay, it's the girls get away from me. Baby, let me tell you something. Carlos and them Kingdom Reign people over there, y'all be coming up with these titles, baby. Y'all, they probably have the best episode titles out of everybody, out of all the franchises that I recap. Okay, they be having, because they franchises be really on like the money. They be like the captions on the neighborhood talk. I mean, they be popping. Okay, so let me read you the episode description for those of you guys who did not read that, because you know we like to do that, because sometimes we get some tea. You know how we discovered that Jennifer was allegedly, well, we ain't gonna say that. We ain't gonna get into that because this ain't about that show today. We'll talk about that tomorrow or Tuesday. It says the ladies arrive in St. Thomas for their girls' trip and are surprised to see that Melody invited Sonny to join them. Okay. Once at the villa, Nell confronts Melody about a perceived slight, and Kimmi and Tisha complain to Melody about their room assignment. So let's get all the way into it. You know, we start this episode off with Melody. Is Lauren her assistant? I don't know if Lauren is her assistant or not. I feel like Lauren works with her in some way, shape, or form. And then we have Shanita Foster. I've been following Shanita Foster for years on Instagram. I think I'm still following her, right? I should be. And I discovered Shanita Foster, I believe, because she was in the same maybe orbit of like Stormy Wellington. I don't know if you guys follow Coach Stormy on the Instagram. Now, Coach Stormy is affiliated with the TLC products. You know, the NutriBursts and the tea. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the tea works. I ain't gonna hold y'all. It was one of the things that's probably like one of several things that I did feel like really worked for my digestive system, and which is very, very sensitive, which is why I started my CMOS company. So anyway, well, that's part of the reason, but it was also because of COVID. But anyway, let's get into it. Wait, can we say that online? I don't know. I'm gonna have to edit that out. Who knows? So anyway, because you know at one point in time you couldn't say that word. You had to come up with any and everything around that word for some reason on the tube. So Anyway, so I've been following her for years. So I'm familiar with who she is. Don't know, did not realize how, how much personality she really was going to bring, but she definitely bringing it. Which is what you want on reality TV. You want opinionated people that make an impact. If you're going to fade into the background, you might as well not show up. That's just what it is. So if I'm casting somebody, I might be like, yeah, bring her if she going to really have some things to say. You know what I'm saying? So they get to the villa first, and the villa looks fabulous. Now, I was thinking about this on my morning walk. What was the best room assignments? Okay. Because this is going to set off a chain of events in this episode. And I really had so a part of me was like, okay, technically, the room assignments make sense. All right. Technically. But when you think about it in this way, you got to think about it from a couple of different perspectives. Okay. So we're going to break it down real quick. I'm thinking about when one year for my birthday, I rented a house in Mexico. And I knew about how many rooms there were. So I understood that the amount of people I invited, we had enough rooms for each individual person. But the way that I had to divvy up the rooms was based on a little bit of who arrived first and then who arrived last, right? So the last person to arrive had to take the basement room, which was ginormous, but depending on how you felt about being in the basement, which was right by the pool, you know what I'm saying? It was a difficult situation, but everybody had a great room, right? At the end of the day. So I when I thought about how Melody sort of divvied up the room, I'm thinking about it in the sense of I would have probably put Lauren and Shanita in the same room. Mostly because I would have probably reserved more of the private rooms for the main cast of the show, just out of respect. But given that, we got to discuss this right off the bat. Did Mel know or not know that Destiny was Latisha's plus one? I think she knew. Based on the text messages, but I would like to see what her response was to Latisha, if she even responded about who was coming, right? So I don't necessarily know why Melody was like, I have no idea who's coming, unless she's just like Mariah Carey, and I don't know her no more. Okay. But I think that if you look at it from the perspective of who should go where, then if I am not feeling Destiny, I would definitely be like, okay, you and you and you are going to stay in the room with her because I don't like her. Okay. To be honest with you. And I don't know why you bringing her. So I'm going to put you down here. I would have said that. Okay. But, I feel like I just don't feel like Melody wanted to address it, to be quite honest with you. Period. Like, I really do. Like, and you have to look at this show from an objective lens, right? And when we look at it from this objective lens, I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm here to just tell you what I see, okay? And you might not always like what I see based on who you like and who you don't like, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to please. I'm here to tell you what I see, okay? Now, and really your enjoyment of the episode will depend on, can you look at this show objectively, one, and who you like and who you don't like. And if you do like a person, you're going to look at everything that they do as the right thing, that the right thing. If you look at this from the other perspective of you don't like that person, everything they do is going to be the wrong thing. If you look at this objectively, you can just look at it from a clear lens and just see that everybody is wrong and everybody is right. Period. That's how I look at this show. Um, and so we got to call things out when we see it, right? However, comma.org, again, like I said before, in real life, would I bring her, would I bring Destiny? No. Knowing that the history between the two of them, I wouldn't bring her. But also in real life, I probably wouldn't bring Sunny neither. Technically, I mean, because if I know the girls don't like her, I'm trying to have a good time on my girls' trip. Okay. So I'm not gonna be bringing nobody, but this is a show and we need some drama. So everybody got to do what they got to do to bring the drama. Period. Um, because I don't see Melody hanging out with Sunny like that. I just don't. I do see her rolling with the Shanitas because I feel like we've seen Shanita with her before. And I'm more interested in Shanita because Shanita has opinions that vary dramatically from the rest of the group. I feel like at times Sunny just kind of fades into the background, and that's no disrespect to her. Maybe it's just because the other ladies just don't like her that much. And really, what I figured is now, oh, the ladies are looking at her like, oh, you the man stealer. Okay, we can't trust you around our men's. That's what they. I feel like that's why they don't like her. Okay. Now I don't know if that's a thing or not for women. You know what I mean? But you know, I mean, because at this point she got a man. She done took the man she wanted. So boom, everybody should be happy. No need to worry. Oh Lord, I kid. So anyway, objectively speaking, I mean, the room assignments, at the end of the day, it does make sense, right? If you Melody, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna give my real friends the good rooms, period. And I'm gonna give these girls that I know don't like me, I'm gonna give them, the not so good rooms. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be in control of the rooms, you got to control the trip. Period. Now, the girls arrive, and it is so much complaining about. Oh, I got to pick up my bags. I got to pick up my bags. Where is my husband? Where is my husband? Where he at? Lord, I can't pick up this bag. Well, pack light. Okay. Pack lights. Okay. I mean, it shouldn't none be in there but bikini straps and bottoms. Okay, and some hoochie high heels or some 6-inch stilettos. I always be feeling like women be so like I feel like y'all don't understand the real struggle for guys when we gotta try to pack for a 7-day trip. Baby, let me tell you something. That bag be so heavy, but I be feeling like y'all could just throw some little thingamabobs in there and bust out, in a bikini. You know what I mean? And that don't weigh but like not even a pound. But you know, the struggle is always real for the person who's in that position. So because I'm a guy, that's my perspective. But the lady's perspective could be that, well, listen, this bag heavy still. I'm not lifting weights like that every day. Why I gotta lift this? Y'all let me know. Ladies, do y'all make y'all men get the bags at the airport? I just want to know this for my own fun. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so the girls get to the house. I mean, well, no. First of all, they're like, "Whoop, Sonny here." I don't know why y'all haven't figured out that Sonny is about to be part of this cast, whether y'all like it or not. Side note: I'm drinking. I'm still drinking some kind of like dirt water. But this is mud water to be specific with you. Not sponsored or nothing like that. But it's got like not shrooms, but like mushroom, like the healthy kind. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing that's gonna cause me to see things that I'm not supposed to see. Just the healthy kind. You know what I'm saying? And chaga and stuff like that. Healthy stuff. So anyway, Norman, what was I at? You ain't ever working. What are you doing? Hmm. So anyway, Yeah, I don't know why they haven't figured out that Sonny has to be part of this cast. I mean, at this point in time, like it should just be a given. Like, oh, Sonny gonna show up, okay? So the girls are looking at Sonny with the stank eye, and Sonny feels it. Yeah, she does. Po thing. And so I don't know why she thought she'd be received well, and because everybody's complaining when she's getting on the bus, even Miss Nell. Ooh, Nell. Woo! That Nell is something else. Anyway, on the van, they start talking about, Stormy is thinking about, having a, she's trying to get a surrogate to have another child. And we learned that it sounds like Sonny has gone through the double IVF, which I guess is a back-to-back IVF treatment session or something like that. So, there's a little bit of openness there with at least Sonny in terms of sympathy for her situation, which is nice. The ladies get to the house and, everybody is like, yes, in good spirits until it's time to see those rooms. So Mel has divvied up the rooms and everybody has cards on their bed to indicate who's got what room. What fun. So they got to go through the house and try to see whose room is whose. So they get to go see all the good rooms before they get to the bad rooms. I love it. Maximum chaos. Okay. Maximum chaos. This is a battleground. Okay. It's about to turn into a battleground. Forget a vacation. This is about to be battle royale. So the first person that's ready for battle is Miss Nell. Miss Nell cannot find her room. And Miss Nell, again, in true Nell fashion, I have been saying in my mind, I never understand why Nell goes from 0 to 100 with her kids, because we never really see it. We don't really see them asking her for stuff. We hear about it later and hear that she went off. But in this instance, we see that Nell is a ticking time bomb no matter who it is. And I got to tell you one thing. While I did find it slightly annoying and I would have been annoyed and I would have sent her on her merry way, I can appreciate the fact that Miss Nell is going to go off right then and there. Okay. I like that about a person. I got to tell you, like, you ain't holding it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days later when I can't do nothing about it. You going off right now. You are flipping off the handle and flipping out, and she is flipping out on Mel. And I would have been like, if I was Mel, I would have been like, girl, you better zip it. You better get yourself together real quick. Go to the corner and count to 10 because you will not be here in my villa acting a plum fool like this. And I don't care if you are my elder, okay? Which also sends Miss Nell into a tizzy, okay? So Mel calmly tries to explain to her that, listen, girl, there was a mix up with the cards. We gave you your own room because you are older than all of us. But I wanted to give you some space. And I think what Mel was trying to say is, I was trying my hardest to be respectful of who you are in this group. I think that was her statement. And I don't think that, and I genuinely think that she felt like that. But Nell is so upset that she don't have a greeting card on her bed. I would have been like, if you don't get up out of my face about this doggone greeting card, you got a private room. Some of these girls ain't got that. So you need to be thanking me for the fact that I looked out for you. Because Nell keep talking about, girl, I looked out for you in Houston. 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 So I expect the same. Girl, you got the same treatment. You just didn't get a card. You upset about this doggone greeting card that you want to take home to your husband for what? Girl, get out of here with this. You getting on my Miss Nell. No, again, I respect the fact that you gonna go crazy in front of me, but what I don't respect is the fact that you going crazy about a greeting card. If anybody had a reason to snap, crackle, and pop, it would have been Kimmi and Latisha, but they handled that better than you did. So what you do later is going to be even more crazy to me. But again, I respect it because it's chaotic. So Nell has to get her together real quick and tell her, listen, Listen, girl, am I not there for you all the time when you crying on the phone? But Miss Nell is like, am I not there for you when you crying on the phone? I gotta respect Miss Nell because she don't got no cut cards. But if I was Mel, I would have been told her to, you got to go. You got to go, girl. You want the room downstairs in the basement with Kimmy and Latisha? Because you can have it in a heartbeat. Keep playing with me. But I gotta also call out Miss Shanita right here because Shanita, mind you, this thing went on for Nell for a very long time to me because it extended past the commercial break. Okay. The commercial came on, she's still going. Okay, she's still going like the Energizer Bunny. Now, Shanita in this instance is very much like, oh, Miss Nell, oh my goodness, you can have me in Lauren's room. You can have my room and I'll stay with Lauren. Now, in my mind, I feel like I'm a little shocked that Shanita didn't have Melody's back in that moment. Cause the way Miss Nell was going off on her, that's when she, if Mel needed the backup, but I don't feel like she did because I felt like she got Miss Nell together. But I do feel like that's when you should have really popped up on somebody. Okay. But I just felt like that was interesting. It was a contrast to me that was a little inconsistent with her personality because either she was in a situation where she just respected Miss Nell because she was older, or she just don't like Latisha. And she's probably seen the show, which makes sense. I mean, duh, you've been on the show. Why wouldn't you not watch the same show that your girlfriend's on? So that would be my only issue with Shanita because I'm like, if you're gonna give the energy, you got to give it all the way around. Okay. Don't be inconsistent with who you give it to because this girl is flipping out on your friend. Okay. That's when you need to come to her aid right there. Okay. But again, I respect Miss Nell because I would rather you do all of this to my face than behind my back, and I got to find out that you did it later, or that you've been carrying this anger around for weeks and I can't do nothing about it, right? But Mel handled it well, and I think that Nell need to get over that and suck it up. Hold on to that because it's gonna come up later. Kimmy and Latisha go downstairs and discover that they are in a 3-bed suite, okay? That they're going to be having to share with Destiny, okay? The friend that Melody does not know who it is. And Latisha is convinced that this is what they got that room because that's how Melody feels about them. I would wager to believe that y'all got that room because that's how she feels about Destiny. Okay. And that's how she feels about you bringing Destiny to the trip. Okay. That's how I feel. But again, if we're trying to make an all cast trip happen, everybody's got to be there. So it is what it is. We've seen this on Housewives. Don't act like you guys are new to this. We true to this. So we know what's up, right? So, Sonny tells Melody, it sounds like Latisha and Kimmy are a little upset about their rooms. And they outside and they kind of like, they kind of realizing because Latisha's like, oh, Destiny with y'all. And they're like, oh, that's why she put us in the dungeon. So Mel goes out there to, address the situation. What's going on? She's like, I figured that you have a friend coming. And so I would put you guys in the same room. Technically, on paper, it makes sense. But because we know who's coming, it also makes sense. So, Latisha and Kimmy are addressing the situation with Melody. And I felt like they were addressing it in a way that they were going to resolve whether Kimmy and Latisha liked it or not. I felt like they were just coming around to the fact that they were going to have to stay in this 3-bed suite with Destiny. Period. They were just kind of like, you know what? Okay, got it. Fine. It is what it is. This is not going to ruin the trip. So producer Sonny instructs ticking time bomb Nell to go outside and make the piece. Really? You think she need to go and make the piece? Nell couldn't find her way to peace if it was leading her there on a leash. Okay. Nell and peace do not belong in the same sentence. All right. And I like you, Miss Nell, but it don't belong in the same sentence. Nell is the opposite of peaceful. Okay. Miss Nell is chaos. But that's what we like on these shows. So she sends chaos and confusion outside to mitigate the situation. And Miss Nell comes out there like a wrecking ball. Y'all gonna need to suck it up. Girl, was you not just in the room, in the hallway, yelling at Mel because you didn't get a greeting card on your bed? Girl, if you don't get out of my face. And I felt like Kimmi specifically, okay, in the moment, had every right to be like, this conversation has nothing to do with you, okay? So you need to butt out. And Miss Nell is like, Meanwhile, strap is falling, okay? Strap is falling here. And so Miss Nell is giving a show, okay? Which we can't see because the camera don't show it, right? Thank God. And so Latisha, thinking she's doing Miss Nell a solid, is like, girl, let me fix you. You're showing a little cleave. Let me fix you a little bit. And Miss Nell like, don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. I don't care if my whole tata was showing. I don't care. I don't care. Let them see it. Let them see it. Let them smack it up. Let me rub it down. But don't you touch me. Don't you dare touch me. Don't you touch me. Don't touch me. And I was like, Nell. Now, granted, if I'm arguing with you and you reach out and touch, if you touch me, I might react a similar way because I don't know, but I would have to be real worked up. Like, I don't get that worked up about stuff, like in general. Like, it would take a lot to get me like to the point where Nell is. Nell, you could tap her the wrong way and she gonna explode on you. You know what I'm saying? So if I was Latisha, I would have just let the tata swing. You know what I'm saying? Shorty swing my way, sure looking good to me. I sure would have let that thing swing on out and pop somebody in the face. I would have. Yeah, I would have. Let it slink on out, baby. Let it roll on out that top. Next time, Latisha, let that thing swing. Okay, scrub the ground. Let it swing. Okay. So at a certain point, Latisha and Kimmi are, especially Kimmi, she's like, we don't need all this. We don't need all of this. And Miss Nell is like, all of what? Okay. And so Miss Nell then storms off and is like, that's why y'all in the dungeon. I'm like, Nell, girl, you can't talk. You upset about a greeting card, trying to tell somebody to suck something up. Like, you don't have no ways to talk about this situation. Nobody but to suck nothing up. If anything, girl, fix your strap. Okay. So now we got another problem. Okay. Now they're not even mad about the room no more. They mad about Miss Nell. Okay. And so they got to take a second to calm down, and they just decided they're going to not let this thing ruin their trip, and they're going to have a good time. So we get over that. We get back inside, the dancers come, and, everybody's having a good old time, and they get their gift bags, and it's time for the dinner. Well, that escalates quickly. So there's some passive-aggressive talk between Shanita and Latisha over friendship. And I don't really understand it. I mean, there is some talk about whether or not you can be friends with, you can be around people you don't like. And Latisha's like, yeah, I could be around somebody I don't like. And granted, most of us are around people we don't like all the time. Like, I mean, not me. But I'm just saying, I have been, okay. There have been, I've been on a job at certain points with somebody that I don't like, but you'll never know it because I'm a professional and I can maneuver in spaces with people that I don't like and be okay. And you will never know that I don't like them, right? because I don't have to show that I don't like you. That's really, I mean, it don't affect me that much, right? Your presence, if I don't like you, does not affect me like that. But some people can't hide it, right? And so, Shanita is like, watch her. Now, when she said it, I felt like that's how she felt about Latisha. Like, I felt like she was like, you need to watch her. But she tries to clean it up a bit, and she's like, she says something that I felt like was poignant, but I can't recall the exact verbiage. But it veered on true and real talk, but still a bit aggressive for a conversation with somebody that I don't really know. Okay. But again, you need opinionated people to make fetch happen on a show. So if you don't have a Shanita, would the party ever get started? We don't know. Okay. So there comes up this conversation about why Latricia does not like Sunny. Latricia's like, I don't dislike her, but I just don't rock with what she did. And I respect that, to be personally honest with you. But, Mel then catches Shanita up on the scenario. You know, Destiny had a boyfriend. Sonny was Destiny's producer. Sonny married Destiny's boyfriend. I mean, that's essentially it. Now, they try to point out to Shanita that Sonny was Destiny's friend as well. And that borders on a tricky situation to me. Um, the relationship between a producer, and I'm gonna be very real with y'all, a producer and a talent is a very tricky one. I've talked to you guys about this before. And true enough, LaShanita was right, wherein the producer's job is to get you to open up to them in a way that makes you feel so comfortable that you tell them all of your business. But you would hope that your business doesn't become leverage for the producer. Okay. And in this scenario, the lines are blurred between what was told to Sonny as a producer and what was then used as leverage to then gain access to someone in Destiny's life. Okay. So we can debate all day about whether or not Sonny was Destiny's friend, even if Destiny thought she was a friend to Sonny. The bottom line is that if Sonny leveraged any intel in Destiny's personal life and utilized it to her advantage, if, and I say if, allegedly, right? Then if she also gained access and if she never would have known Moses without Destiny, then yeah, sure. Whatever happened, that's kismet. That's life happening the way life does. But if you met him through her, that was your gateway, then yes. You can't argue around that. And as much as she wants to use, I wasn't friends with her. The truth of the matter is, if you leveraged anything Destiny gave you, if you leveraged Destiny and it enabled access to Moses, you wouldn't have known Moses had it not been for Destiny. So that's a fact. If that's a fact, then that is where the lines of being a producer and now you gain access to the talents relationships, whether you were her friend or not, you leverage that information to your advantage, and that looks scummy. Period. So you can say, I was only around him one time, to your remembrance, but that's not what I've heard Destiny say. If that's what you did, that's why it appears this way to everybody. So Shanita is correct, but you got to dig deeper to figure out the reason why she is being perceived the way that she is, coupled with the fact that she then has used information that Moses has told her to disparage Destiny as nothing more than a side chick, furthering the reasons why if you were an observer, you would want to stay away from somebody like that, because if he had all these side chicks, why would you want him? Would that not make you another side chick at some point? Even though you guys are married now, were you okay with being one of the chicks in the roster before? If you were, then that's fine. I mean, live prosperous and be happy. That's what I say at this point. I mean, because y'all married, so at this point, it's all a moot point because they married at this point. But if we're gonna discuss it, we got to be real about how we break it down, right? So, and then it's almost like, oh, slightly rewarded for doing so. I'm on the show. Hi. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I see. So at that point, it gets into Shanita asking Latisha, well, why would you bring Destiny? Because Nell is like, I don't want to talk. Is Destiny coming? Because I don't want to talk about her if she's not here. Fair. Shanita's like, well, so Nell is like, is Destiny coming? Latisha's like, I invited her. Shanita's like, why would you invite her knowing the relationship between Melody and Destiny? Which tells me that Shanita knows what's up in the circle, right? Either through having seen the show or through Melody herself. So I do feel like Shanita came in with knowledge and perceptions, but that's only human, right? So do I think that she looked at Latisha because she reiterates to watch her again, but this time it's watch her as in she'll invite somebody that you don't like into your trip space. Watch her, right? So in real life, Shanita would be correct, right? On the show, we understand that as a viewer, the best possible scenario to create maximum drama would be to invite Destiny, because she is a part of the cast. And we know, whether you like the person or not, if it's an all-cash trip, which it sounds like it is turning into, then yes, she would be there. And all the ladies on the show and Destiny is in the title cards, so we can't dispute that. She's more so in the title cards than Sunny. I mean, that's why she's invited. That's how this works. And we know this because we've seen these shows. So, reality TV is always an interesting mix of how somebody reacts in real life and what you need to do to make for a good show. And we break it down and we look at both ways. And I think when you do it that way, it makes sense and you feel less stressed about it, right? Or at least that's the hope. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Again, I gave it a 10.5, baby. It was good and juicy. Next week looks like it's about to be juiced up too, and I'm all ready for it. So chime down in the comment section down below. Subscribe to this channel if you like reality TV related content with a little bit of unhinged and unseriousness. And with that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.